In this tutorial, we are going to talk about how to add an online quiz to Edline. And as always, to begin, you want to click Edit this page, mouse over the content section, and hit the plus symbol, and then go to Quiz. Now, here, of course, you've got to name it. In this case, we're just going to say Test Quiz. And then your dates are actually pretty important here. You want to know when the calendar is going to be visible for the students. If it's something you want them to do in class, if it's something you have, say, at 8 o'clock at night you want them to do, you can set the date and time that you want this to be visible and then taken off, which is actually pretty interesting to use. I've done it before when you tell kids, hey, you only have until midnight to take this quiz. It's wonderful for you to be able to have that kind of control. As always, you can add multiple classes to this quiz, so you only have to create it once. And the real important part here is the setup box. Now you notice the button at the top says Build My Quiz. We're going to get to that in just 1 minute. But there are other options here you want to consider. For example, users can access their work after submission. I usually put no, but you can put yes and view only. So they can look at their answers, but they cannot change them. If you want them to be able to go back, you can select yes, view, and edit. It's completely up to you. Display grading and feedback to users. If you click yes, when they complete the quiz, it will show them their correct and incorrect answers. Now, one of the really interesting features is that sync with Gradebook. And of course, Edline is synced with GradeQuick. And so what you can do, instead of you having to grade this, if you click yes, it will automatically create a test in GradeQuick per class and then import all of their grades for you inside that quiz. Once the quiz is over, you can go in and actually manipulate and change things like that, like what the test is worth, a major, minor grade, what percentage, things like that. So it's a very handy tool that really frees you up. Instead of grading this, you can actually just have it automatically graded for you and sync with your gradebook. In this case, I'm just going to put no. Administration email notification when responses are submitted. I always do not send an email notification. Every time a student takes the quiz, it could send you an email, but honestly, you could always check in GradeQuick to see who's completed it, and that way it frees up your inbox from getting 100 emails a night from kids taking the quiz. Responses are anonymous. I always check no. I want to know who's responding, what their grade was. So I always make sure I know. And of course, when they log into Edline, it tells me who's taking the quiz. And of course, if you do sync it with your gradebook, it automatically lines their name up once they log in to GradeQuick and puts the grade in the test that it creates for it. Now, the important part here is Build My Quiz. When you click on Build My Quiz, this is where you're actually going to put in the content questions. You have many different kinds of questions that you can ask. Multiple choice, true or false, yes or no. You can even do essay type questions, paragraph answers. Of course, that would not be graded automatically. This is something you would have to go in and grade yourself. And we're not going to worry about these other features right at the moment. A very interesting feature that it has is import questions. Now, when you import questions, this is, say you've already created in a Word doc a multiple choice quiz that you want the kids to take. The great thing is you can pull up that quiz. Here I have one right here, and here are some multiple choice questions, and I'm going to copy 3 of them, just like that. Just highlighted them and copy. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click Import Questions and paste them inside this box. Now you see it's kind of garbled. It doesn't look as pretty as it did, say, in the Word document here. But then you're going to hit validate questions. And it really loves these multiple choice. It's going to give you the green check if everything was okay. If not, it's going to give you a red check and show you which ones didn't successfully import. And then click done. And now you can see it's taken your multiple choice questions and automatically created the quiz. And then you can move positions here. Once you get your questions in, you can edit them, change it. You obviously can help pick the correct answer. In this case, if you want that to be the correct answer, save and return. You can even pick which place. Hey, I want this one to be 4th. A restrictive covenants is when, so I click 4th and then hit go. Now it's down at the bottom. So you can even pick what position, or just simply hit the move up or down button. If you have very similar questions, you can actually clone it, and it will repeat the question. And then you can manipulate it. You can go in and edit it and change things around. So it actually gives you quite a few options. There's a question you don't like this one. You hit delete, click OK. That question is gone. You do want to make sure that you have the default points per question. You can do it, 10, 5, 15, or 1 point each. That's completely up to you. You can pick the font size and default font type. It includes the correct answer. So here you can pick the correct answer. Actually, you want to do that in the edit section where it says correct, and then hit save and return. So that you have the correct answers in there. Now, you can do this by hand, but I prefer, instead of recreating the wheel, if you already have a quiz, particularly multiple choice questions are the best. 90% of the time, these are the only questions that you can import without any major editing or difficulty. So I use the online quizzes in Edline as really a check quiz at the beginning of class, or an assignment over the reading. Hey, did you read this chapter? Well, here's 10 questions. Make sure you get it done at home to prod them into making sure that they're getting the correct answer. You can do that any way you want to. It's completely up to you. Once you are done, here you click the done button. And it takes you back to the menu here. Again, you can share it with multiple classes. And then you can click save and return. Oh, one more thing I forgot to show you. Let's go back here and go to test quiz. Down here under responses, it's very important that when you're ready for the quiz to be available to students, you want to click on the Allow Quiz Submissions button. If you don't click this button, the kids cannot take the quiz. So once you click on it, now you see it's turned red and it says prevent. So if you want to stop the quiz, say the next day everyone's taken it, you click the Prevent Quiz Submissions button, and that stops the quiz. And it also allows you to go into GradeQuick and edit their grades, what each one is worth, things like that. You can view their responses here. Unfortunately, we don't have any because no one's taken it yet. If you had taken it, you would see the responses there. And you have some other options that you can play with. We're not going to deal with those right now. And then hit save and return. And so the kids would log into Edline. They would go to the quiz, click on it, and begin taking it. If I had clicked and left that open, save and return. Now when they go to do it, of course, I'm the administrator. And this is what the quiz would look like under setup. You can go to View Quiz, and then you can take the quiz itself if you want to. Just going to put some answers here, and then close. And that is how you create a quiz in Edline.